Well, the lights were bright on Friday night, and we've had some fantastic action. And for the next 2 hours, we're going to talk prep high school football throughout Northeast Missouri and West Central Illinois. I'm Muddy River Sports editor Matt Schuckman, and this is the debut episode of Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. Thanks for taking the time to join us. We hope you enjoy the next couple hours as we talk high school football. We've got a lot planned coming up. We've got coaches that are joining us on the United Systems hotline. We have coaches who are going to join us here in downtown Quincy in our Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. We're going to talk highlights. KHQA Sports Director Chris Duerr is going to join us here in the studio in hour number 2. Coming up in hour number 2, we're also going to have our Star of the Night, brought to you by Refreshment Services Pepsi. Lot to get to. And I was lucky enough before I came to our downtown Quincy studio to spend some time at 10th and Jackson tonight for the Quincy High School, Quincy Notre Dame game. Again, electric atmosphere as we expected, but I think that was the case everywhere tonight. And truthfully electric when we talk about Winchester and Greenfield and some other areas where lightning delays were part of the night. I know Unity Payson's game at Winchester West Central, Brown County's game at Greenfield Northwestern, both didn't kick off until at least 9:10 tonight because of lightning delays. So we may not be able to get to talk to those coaches, maybe like we had planned, especially with Unity Payson's Matt Woodworth. But we'll get them on here as time goes on. You know, we've got a full season ahead of us, and we're going to try to touch with coaches throughout our area on both sides of the river. We're going to have other special guests join us from time to time. Who knows? Maybe even Quincy University head football coach Jason Kilday here in a couple of weeks when the Hawks have a bye week. He's talked about maybe joining us here in the studio, so we'll see what happens here in 2 weeks if that's indeed the case. But right now we want to talk about tonight's action. Kicking off the 2024 season, and as has been the case for the last few years, right here in Quincy, it takes place with a rivalry game. Quincy High School, Quincy Notre Dame going head-to-head. And the first half was a barn burner. You know, some mistakes by both, some big plays by both, led to a really tight game. Quincy High School kind of imposed its will in the second half a little bit more than Quincy Notre Dame was able to. The Blue Devils come up with a 40-12 victory tonight at Advanced Physical Therapy Field at 10th and Jackson. We're going to talk to Quincy High School coach Rick Little. He's going to join us here in the studio, the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio, that is, here after a while. And any talk we have about Quincy High School and Quincy Notre Dame will be brought to you by First Bankers Trust. So you can look forward to that here later this hour. But again, a great night out at Advanced Physical Therapy Field. Braden Little, I know he had 3 touchdown passes early. We'll get caught up on the stats from that game. I had to bail. I had to come down here and get ready to talk to you guys for the next 2 hours. So I wasn't able to stay for the whole game, but enjoyed being out there, and we're going to do more of that. We're going to make sure we make appearances at games throughout the area. We had reporters all over the place. One of those, Shane Holsey, will be joining us here in the studio, probably in hour number 2. He's got to make a drive back from Monroe City, where Valley Catholic beat Monroe City 47-14, a Valley Catholic team that has 15 state titles to its credit, second most in Missouri high school football history. Thought they were going to be good, thought Monroe City was going to be good. That game was tight early. It was 12-6 for the longest time. Second half, Valley Catholic pulled away. Not really a surprise there, as good as Valley Catholic traditionally is. But I expect some big things out of Monroe City in the CCC, the Clarence Cannon Conference title chase as the year winds on. Other scores so far trickling in. Jefferson City Helias with a 31-20 victory over Hannibal at Porter Stadium down in America's hometown. Sounds like Helias kind of imposed its will with its size up front. We're going to hopefully talk to Hannibal coach Jeff Gschwender on the United Systems hotline here a little later this hour and get his take on how the Pirates played in the season opener. Quick score update. Palmyra, which has led at Hallsville throughout tonight, 1 minute left, tie ball game, 34-34. The Hallsville Indians drove and scored in the final 2 minutes. So we might have our first overtime game of the night. How about that? That would be kind of neat. Other scores from tonight. The reigning Class 1A state champions in Illinois, your Camp Point Central Panthers, well, they're a juggernaut. We kind of knew that. And they're off and running again. 69-0 over North Green to kick off the season. Steve Einiger was there for Muddy River Sports. He'll have a full report. We'll have some pictures coming up. I know Mike Pritchard our guy out in Adams County, hooking us up again tonight with some pictures. So, again, make sure you go to Muddy River Sports tomorrow. We'll have scores, highlights, picture galleries. I took some pictures out of Quincy High School tonight. I missed one, though. Rico Clay caught a great touchdown pass for Quincy High School's first touchdown. Looked at the photos when I got back here to the office. It's fuzzy. At least the reaction shots are good and clean, but the actual catch of it's fuzzy. Photographer problems. It happens. Great game down in Pittsfield tonight. I didn't know what to expect. Both Pittsfield and Jacksonville, lost their opening week opponents because those teams failed to field varsity teams this year. Riverton in the Sangamo Conference, which was supposed to play Pittsfield, decided not to have a varsity team. St. Louis Soldan, which was supposed to be Jacksonville's week 1 opponent, same thing. No varsity team this year. So what did Jacksonville and Pittsfield do? Let's play each other. 37 miles apart, and it turned out to be a heck of a game. Now, Jacksonville won 26-14, came back, though, from a deficit. Pittsfield was up. Lane Foster with a pair of touchdown runs for the Saukeys. Great night in Pittsfield. Zack Ferguson, the Saukeys head coach, will join us on the United Systems hotline later this hour. Talk about that and talk about what that atmosphere and getting that game in meant to those kids from both sides. I would love to get Mark Grounds, the Jacksonville head coach's perspective on that as well. And we'll hear more from him as the year goes on. He'll be an opponent of Quincy Notre Dame's later in the year as part of the Central State 8 Conference. So that'll be interesting here. South Shelby, Adam Gunnerman just has that program rolling right now. Cardinals go on the road, get a 60-22 victory at Harrisburg. Hopefully he joins us in hour number 2. We'll see how long it takes them to get back to Shelby from Harrisburg, and hopefully he can jump on the phone with us and talk to us. Macomb, 49-8 over Lewiston. Not a shocker there. Macomb, Tanner Horrell does a great job as head coach. He's got a lot of weapons. I'm anxious to see the stats from that game. Talked to him this week. Said the number one thing Macomb had to do well to win this year was run the football. Well, if they ran the ball tonight, and it looks like maybe they did, but if they can run the football with the way their offense sets up in the passing game with the athletes they have with a Jack Beal and a Drew Watson and a Braden Holthouse at quarterback, they could be dangerous. So again, 49-8, Macomb over Lewiston to kick off the season. A couple more scores that have come in. Farmington beats Illini West 33-0. Mark Twain takes down Highland 32-14. The other games we don't have scores on. We're missing a couple scores. We told you that Pittsfield Hallsville may be going to overtime. Haven't got a score yet on Deer Creek Mackinac against West Hancock. And then we have the 2 games. We haven't got a score on Pleasant Hill Triopia either. But then we got the 2 games. Brown County at Greenfield Northwestern and Unity Payson at Winchester West Central. Both delayed by lightning tonight. How about that? Last year we had heat delayed everything. They moved kickoffs of every game back to past 8 o'clock. I think some teams didn't even kick off till 9 o'clock because it was so hot last year on opening night. Tonight, heat dissipated. We had some clouds. We had a breeze. It was beautiful out there, at least in some parts, because we didn't have the lightning. We had the clouds, but we didn't have the lightning. So that's interesting. We will get you scores, hopefully, as the night goes on those games, as they play out during our 2 hours on the air here. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But a real quick rundown again on the scores from tonight. Quincy High School over Quincy Notre Dame, 40-12. Jefferson City Elias beats Hannibal, 31-20. Camp Point Central, 69-0 over North Green. Valley Catholic beats Monroe City, 47-14. Jacksonville takes down Pittsfield, 26-14. South Shelby over Harrisburg, 60-22. Macomb, 49-8 over Lewiston. And then 2 more that we know of so far. Farmington over Illini West, 33-0. Mark Twain over Highland, 32-14. We'll get you some more scores. There's a few more lingering out there. We'll get you caught up on those. And we'll get you updated on the games delayed by lightning as we move forward. But this is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. Thank you so much for being here. We got great sponsors who are helping make this possible. You're going to see commercials throughout our 2-hour show. Make sure you check out those sponsors. They've done a great job of getting us on the air, getting us going on this. And when we come back, we're going to go to the United Systems hotline, and we're going to talk football. Brad Dixon, Camp Point Central coach, joining us in our next segment. So stick around. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
9 million Americans suffer from.
Life is full of bad surprises, like interrupted broadcasts, or you get a flat tire.
I bought the inflator. I'm on my way.
Maybe your dog chews up your boots.
This is a chew toy. This is not.
Or you run out of toilet paper.
Who's coming through?
Or you hit a deer. But not every surprise is bad, like being able to find everything you need in one place. Your local farm and home supply.
No other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply.
Why a deer?
Hey, grab me one too.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. Number one vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues,
Ready?
future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot, as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
If you've been in a motor vehicle accident, contact McCleary Law.
There was nowhere to go. We were on a bridge.
All of a sudden, a guy started going over in our lane and hit his head on.
I couldn't even breathe. It was just unbelievable that it even happened.
We needed to get a hold of an attorney, and our first thoughts was to get a hold of Dan McCleary. Everything's pretty easy when you deal with Dan.
He got us way more than we expected to get.
We don't charge anything until we win your case. Call McCleary Law.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports editor Matt Schuckman. And forgive me, I forgot to give our scoreboard sponsor during the first segment. Scheinkirk Toyota, helping us out, sponsoring your scoreboard every night as we do Muddy Night Lights. And it's a good segue because we do have some score updates to give you real quick. Triopia beat Pleasant Hill 8-6 in the season opener tonight. And then our two lightning delayed games have both reached halftime so far. Unity Payson is trailing Winchester West Central 22-14 at the half. Brown County is trailing Greenfield Northwestern 6-0 at the half. So maybe we'll get some updates as the night goes on from those two games. Those were both delayed more than 2 hours, I believe, by lightning. So crazy start to the night. The Palmyra-Hallsville game we mentioned in the first period, or in the first segment, it has gone to overtime now, tied at 34. I know Pierce White, sophomore wide receiver, running back, all-purpose back for Palmyra. I know he had 3 touchdowns early, so a great night for him. We are efforting to get coaches on the phone right now. We'll see what happens here as we move forward. Brad Dixon says he's available, so we just need to get him on the phone. He knew we were calling him, so we're going to talk about the Camp Point Central's 69-0 victory over North Green as they start their title defense. The reigning Class 1A state champions. Man, they are just so good. They're so good in so many spots, which is pretty cool to see that a team can build like that year after year. We talk at a lot of times we talk about Carthage and the Illini West program under Jim Unruh, and how every year they just reloaded. Didn't matter who they lost or how many seniors they lost. They just came right back. That's become Camp Point Central now. Year in, year out, Camp Point Central just is good to go. You know that coming in. They got some young guys. They got some interesting pieces. They've got some veteran experience. Had a great shuck on a truck with Jaden Summy, their starting center, talking about the atmosphere, the culture, the way those kids want to play. So, again, 69-0, the title defense begins. It'll be interesting. That WIVC North is going to be good this year. So there's a lot to there could be some bumps in the road if teams aren't careful along the way. We're already seeing that with some really good matchups tonight. So we're going to go to the United Systems hotline. Brad Dixon set to join us, the Camp Point Central coach. Coach Dixon, how are you tonight?
Oh, doing well. Anytime you can win, it's a good thing.
Thanks for taking the time to join us here on the United Systems hotline. Okay, so my first question, and you wouldn't know this off the top of your head, but did you catch a glimpse of Steve Einiger eating way too many pork chop sandwiches before the game tonight?
I did not, but I was telling the coaches, I think our winning percentage is about 100% when Steve Einiger is covering our game.
Well, last year I came up and did a couple shuck on a trucks and sat in the end zone, and I was a little concerned because if you guys lost when I was there and I had taken the game away from him, I don't know if anybody would let me back in Camp Point.
Yeah, he needs to be there for sure.
Well, we'll make sure we keep doing that. Again, 69-0 over North Green tonight. Coach, what did you like about your guys' effort?
We've got some guys that have been in the fire, but we played a lot of guys tonight that have never played a meaningful varsity snap. And so, we got off to a good start. We ran the ball extremely well. I mean, we didn't throw one pass tonight. I think we racked up over 400 yards and gave the ball to 10 or 12 different people like we like to do. Defensively, we had maybe 5 takeaways. We had three interceptions in a secondary that is completely rebuilt with new guys that didn't play in the secondary last year. Even the freshman, Kale Niekamp, the big interception tonight. So, just to see those guys, and that's what I told them in the pregame. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, but I'm excited to see these guys step into roles and, put themselves in positions because they've done everything up to this point from a training standpoint to a practice standpoint to a preparation. Now it was about, putting that product out on the field. And so there's obviously lots of things we need to correct, and we'll get on the film, but just excited that the moment wasn't too big for them tonight.
Well, I know when you and I talked when I was out in Camp Point earlier this week, those guys are going to learn. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do just like the Elijah Genenbachers made and Cade Niekamps made mistakes when they were first on the varsity. So, but you got to learn from those mistakes and get better from those mistakes.
Yeah, and like I said, I tell our guys, and I'm not too bold to say it. I mean, we've got 2 of the best players in all of Class 1A football, in Elijah and Caden. Lean on those guys. They know every position. They've been in the wars. They've gotten their butts chewed. They understand what it takes to win. And then, like I say, you got the Nate Peterses and the Jaden Summies and the Jace Wallaces and, these other guys that are also seniors that have been key contributors. But, there's a lot of good football players on our team that kind of help bring those other guys along. And, we don't have to do it individually. We can do it all together.
And one of the fun things for me when I get to go around to the teams is getting to know the kids. And obviously by now, an Elijah and a Caden I've gotten to know. And that group of seniors you had last year, I had gotten to know. Now I'm getting to know new guys. Even though like Jaden Summy's been around a while, they're emerging. They're taking on leadership roles. Your leadership from your senior class is really good, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the culture, and we've really seen it really get better over the last few years. Of our outgoing seniors, they root hard for the guys that are coming after them. It's not a jealousy thing. It's not, I think in the past sometimes we'd have kids graduate and they'd say, you guys aren't going to be better than us. We've really had seniors lately that they said, hey guys, you guys got a chance to be really good too, and they really root for each other and help those guys along. Our seniors this year were helping the young guys along. I mean, we started 2 freshmen tonight, which obviously is not unheard of, but it kind of is in our program because, a lot of times we don't have to rely on freshmen, but we got some good ones this year that have the size to do it. And, to see that senior class lead and just the way we took care of business in the pregame and before the game with how we do everything and just done very well tonight. And I felt good about how we, when we were taking the field, I felt really good about where we were at.
Well, I know you guys, you have a great atmosphere out in Camp Point. a lot of fun out there. And I think tonight kind of epitomized that. You had a skydiver, right? Bring in the game ball.
Well, we were going to, and the weather knocked that out tonight, unfortunately. So our plane was coming out of Taylorville to Mount Sterling, and there were lots of storms south. So we're hoping to get that rescheduled for homecoming, which is on September 20th. But yeah, we had to nix that last minute, and but we still were able to get our band on the field and to do the things we do, and we had the stands completely full tonight. Awesome. So, I think people were trying to get a look at the new look Panthers, right. I guess. Yeah. And so, yeah, we're proud of the atmosphere that we built, and then, to have a roster of 57 kids, obviously that's a lot of parents and grandparents and friends. So, we're hoping we only get 4 home games this year in the regular season. So we got to take advantage of every opportunity we get to play in front of our home fans.
All right. Home game 1 is done. Note to myself, Steve Einiger covers the last 3 home games. Right?
It sounds good to me.
Awesome, Coach. Hey, thanks for taking the time to join us on the United Systems Hotline. Good luck, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you a time or two here on Monday Night Lights.
All right, I appreciate you guys as always. You guys do a phenomenal job.
Thanks, buddy. Take care. That was Central Coach Brad Dixon on the United Systems Hotline. Panthers get their title defense started with a 69-0 victory over North Green tonight out in Adams County. Again, they're loaded. They've got some young kids who've got a lot to learn, but they're really talented. And it's going to be a fun year in the WIVC, North and South. That South is really good, too. Like, we're talking Greenfield Northwestern, Winchester West Central. We haven't even mentioned Calhoun. Calhoun might be one of the best teams in Class 1A in the state, and all those teams are right here in our neck of the woods. So, a lot of fun. I really appreciate Brad Dixon joining us on the United Systems Hotline. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We're going to talk to more coaches coming up. But right now, we're going to take a break, catch our breath. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
I love to shop online, and one thing I'm not going to screw up is a piece of jewelry that I'm going to wear for the rest of my life.
And it's as simple as just being able to see it. Like, just being able to actually physically hold it and see it, that's different than like, oh, look, I'm on the internet. Like, that looks nice, I think.
Trying on rings and seeing different sizes and the different colors, and I just want to be able to touch and feel it and have the experience. Having the experience is going to be more important to me than just adding something to a cart and clicking buy now.
There are 3 things that she's going to get asked. How did he propose? How big is the diamond? And where did he get it?
I'm proud to tell my friends that, this is where I got my ring.
I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of a no-brainer.
From your trash to your recycling, you're doing your part. You can trust us to do ours. We're a team of people working hard for you, turning problems into solutions and waste into possibilities. We're Republic Services. We haul it, we recycle it, we convert it, we even electrify it. We work where you work. We live where you live. We are Republic Services.
When you're shopping at the grocery store, do you ever wonder where your beef comes from? Here at Jersey's, we do not. We know all of our beef comes directly from GJY Beef Company in Brown County. We know that these cattle are born and raised right here in our own backyard. So next time that you're looking for a juicy burger, ribeye sandwich, or mouth-watering steak, look no further than GJY Beef Company and Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Cam Point, Illinois.
9 million Americans suffer from...
Life is full of bad surprises, like interrupted broadcasts, or you get a flat tire.
I got the inflator. I'm on my way.
Maybe your dog chews up your boots.
This is a chew toy. This is not.
Or you run out of toilet paper.
Who's coming through?
Or you hit a deer. But not every surprise is bad, like being able to find everything you need in one place. Your local Farm and Home Supply.
No other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply.
Sometimes life throws bold moments at you, like finding the perfect vacation. or finding the ideal location. At BOS, we're there to help you meet those moments with bold confidence. So whether it's managing money for future plans or getting what you need to start planning your dream, we're here to bring you a better banking experience. Make the bold move and switch to BOS today.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports editor Matt Schuckman, breaking down the high school football scene. We just got done talking to Central coach Brad Dixon about their 69-0 victory over North Green. And we're going to head back to the United Systems hotline to the other side of the river to talk about what went down in America's hometown tonight. Hannibal coach Jeff Gschwender joining us on the United Systems hotline. Coach, how are you?
Oh, I've been better, but I'm doing all right.
Well, I appreciate you taking time to join us. I know it's a tough one. Fall to Helias, 31-20. Sounded like you got off to a good start. Waylon connecting with Carter Reed for the first touchdown. And did you feel like you got some things going early?
It was tough. I got an extremely good defense. We got a new offensive line, but we were able to get some stuff going and moving the ball really well. We just had some self-inflicted wounds.
Okay.
We gave up a kickoff return immediately after we scored, and then we put together, later on in the game, we put together some really nice long, about a quarter long, taking up the whole field drives, only to fumble the football on 6-yard line, and so we definitely dealt with some adversity, but our kids fought, and it's really exciting for the rest of the year, because our kids know what we got. They know the stuff that needs to be fixed. And, they're just itching to get back out and keep playing.
I know in talking with Waylon Anders during the preseason how much he wanted this game just because knowing it had lost to them last year in the opener. But it worked out okay for you in the past. That you've learned from this game and used it to your advantage. Did you find things you're going to learn from tonight?
Oh, absolutely. That's what we love about this game, we came off the field tonight twice the team we were when we stepped on the field. Not just with our play, but just our focus, our ability to get through adversity. We had some back-breaking penalties that were called on us that kind of bailed them out of some tough situations. And, our kids just buckled down and fought. We got some defensive players that can just flat out run and play. We just got to be a little bit better tacklers on the defensive side. But, our offense put our defense in a couple bad situations, and it made no difference. Kids got on the field, they played, they made plays, they made stops when they needed to. I was extremely happy with our effort, with the way we came out and fought for 4 quarters, against a really good Class 5 football team.
Yep.
But again, the mistakes we made were self-inflicted. So we just got to get those things cleaned up.
We're talking with Hannibal coach Jeff Gschwender on the United Systems hotline. Coach, what was your message to your guys afterward?
Be critical on yourself. Obviously, we all hate losing, but there's some really good things you can pull out of this game. And, really, I just told everybody, when you're watching film, be critical on yourself. What could you have done better? How could you have lined a little bit differently? What, could you have fixed your angle here or there? Could your pad levels been a little bit lower? What could you have done to make those tackles? So, just a lot of little stuff. And again, I just love our kids' attitudes. They're so coachable. They give great effort. And they know never to be satisfied,
Well,
again, we played a good football team. We played a good game against a good football team, but that doesn't matter. Our kids hate losing, and they want to fix it immediately.
Well, and you've got seniors who have been in those tough situations who also know how to win, and their leadership's going to really show in the coming week, isn't it?
Oh, it absolutely is. Yes. Like I said, you got Waylon, you got Mike, you got Jaron Landis, Dylan Bach. You got some guys with a lot of varsity games under their belt. Not just varsity games, but we're talking some big-time varsity games where we've had to play comeback, games where we really had to grind stuff out. And they lead these guys. They come in every single day. It's the little things that they're really leading these guys on, making sure there on time, making sure they're ready, making sure the locker room's cleaned up, making sure they're aligned right, and after that, it's about just giving effort, going out and giving effort and being able to get coached and make adjustments.
Well, and the process of getting ready for week 2 starts tomorrow, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Well, it starts tonight. But,
yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like I said, about these kids. They're ready to get back to the grind. They are ready to get it fixed. They know we have a lot of football games left this season. This by no means is the end of the world, even though we hate losing, especially to Elias.
Right.
But our guys know that we got some good stuff under our belt and some stuff that can be fixed. You take away a couple of our self-inflicted wounds, and we're talking about a different football game out there.
Well, hopefully next week after your trip to St. Louis, we have something better to talk about.
Yep, sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate the time.
All right, thanks.
That was Hannibal coach Jeff Gschwender joining us on the United Systems hotline. Pirates fall tonight to Jefferson City Elias 31-20 at Porter Stadium in America's hometown. But like he said, there's a lot to gain from it. Man, Elias is a really good football. Not only a good football team this year, but a good football program. Those have been some hellacious battles going back to the North Central Missouri Conference days with Hannibal. Hannibal will grow from this. I like this Hannibal team. There's some young guys that are going to step into some roles and some names you're going to get to know as the year goes on that you don't know quite yet. But with Waylon Anders and Mike Ferreira and other senior leaders leading that team, big things ahead for the Pirates. Big things ahead for Quincy High School, too. And we'll talk to Coach Rick Little hopefully soon because he's going to join us here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. So stick with us. We're going to talk more football when we come back right here on Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships? It's the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Monday Night Lights is also brought to you by Town & Country Inn and Nationwide Transportation.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot, as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
I love to shop online, and one thing I'm not going to screw up is a piece of jewelry that I'm going to wear for the rest of my life.
And it's as simple as just being able to see it. Like, just being able to actually physically hold it and see it. That's different than like, oh, look, I'm on the internet. Like, that looks nice, I think.
Trying on rings and seeing different sizes and the different colors, and I just want to be able to touch and feel it and have the experience. Having the experience is going to be more important to me than just adding something to a cart and clicking buy now.
There are 3 things that she's going to get asked. How did he propose? How big's the diamond? And where did he get it?
I'm proud to tell my friends that, this is where I got my ring.
I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of a no-brainer.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Schuckman. We are hanging out in downtown Quincy in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. We do have a score update. Scoreboard brought to you by Schottenkirk Toyota, by the way. Palmyra with the victory in the season opener, 42-40 over Hallsville in double overtime. Wyatt Augsburg with the game-winning touchdown or game-winning two-point conversion, something. He scored to win the game for Palmyra. We'll get more of the details as we move forward. But a double overtime victory for the Panthers. So there's another score for you. We're getting them to roll in a little bit. We have those late starts on a couple games. But right now, we're going to sit here and talk in studio Quincy High School football, brought to you by First Bankers Trust. And guess who's here? Quincy High School coach Rick Little. What's up, buddy?
Hey, not too much. Great night. Great opportunity to be here, so I'm glad I'm here.
Great night of football, throughout our area. Just, obviously we were out at 10th and Jackson. Great atmosphere on both sidelines. The Quincy High fans brought it. The Quincy Notre Dame fans were lively. It was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
It is. It's a lot of fun. The game's fun. I'll tell you, it takes me back just a little bit because I'm a football meathead junkie from a young age. Newspaper, all this. Watch you guys run around here yelling out scores. That's exciting. So the game was exciting.
Yeah.
Well, this has been exciting too. So no, I'm really happy. Guys get off. Get the win. Get off to a good start.
Yep.
The first game thing is always funny, and this goes for every team. But we played well, and then there's times that there's a lot of things we have to clean up.
Yes.
And I think, when I say come to expect that, I wish I wasn't saying that, but that would be true. I come to expect a few things, and
of course,
things we have to clean up.
Well, I think when you look at the way kind of things unfolded, made some nice plays offensively. I thought Rico Clay's catch on the touchdown, great catch. Got a great picture of it, but it's fuzzy. I'll have to show it to you before you take off. But a great start, and then you come back and you're driving, you're moving the ball, and you got 3 straight penalties.
Yeah.
On your offensive line, an eligible man downfield, and then 2 holds. And again, young guys getting their feet wet, learning. Mm-hmm. Those are correctable mistakes, though, aren't they?
They are, and we want to work hard to correct those. But there's also times I get so frustrated. But officiating's a great part of the game. I love them all. But just things, right? But they start to compound and compile. But, we got to be better. And that's something that they're not, because we now have the ability to look at the iPads on the sidelines. So somebody's like, what?
Yeah.
But still, you got to improve. You got to improve, and we got to work hard to make sure we're doing the right things. And that's something that for sure we will work hard at to make sure we're better.
I thought your guys did a nice job of responding. Notre Dame punched you in the mouth a couple times, came right back at you, and your guys responded. That's a big deal when you think you're going to roll and stuff, and to get punched and come back.
Yeah, and I come to with this group come to expect that. And it's not being arrogant. I know that it's a good group on offense, defense, but we got to clean up some of the stuff that does not help us, like special teams and field position, because we were really, again, tip the hat to Notre Dame for working hard and putting drives together. But when you are at the 50-yard line, now there's a penalty now. There's some opportunities. So we got to be better in all facets. But I thought Notre Dame played well. I thought they did a good job being physical. And, I thought our guys responded well and showed a lot of resilience.
Well, and I think you've got situations that you'll look at, and you and your coaching staff will look at on film, but you get an interception and turn the ball over the very next play. And to win big games, to win state quarterfinal games, you can't do that.
No, and I will say Coach Luton, all of us, we were kind of putting it on us, because there's 52 seconds there. We're big on, if we rep it, we'll run it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes with these guys, it's so fun to be like, wait a minute, let's put this guy here. And so we do a lot of back shoulder stuff and just little timing stuff, but kind of kicking, I'm yelling at my son, but I'm also like, man, we got to be better. We got to be better. We got to be better. And so, and coach would say the same thing. And just 52 seconds, we can score quick. So just things, right? Just things, first game stuff, whether it's us, as coaches, as players, and we just got to work to get better.
Well, how about we take a break? We'll talk more about that. I got a couple questions for you about the mentality and that stuff about tonight's game. But we're going to take a break, play some ads, if you don't mind sticking around for just a little bit. Awesome. Rick Little joining us here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. We'll come back and talk more with him after their 40-12 victory over Quincy Notre Dame. But right now, we're going to take a break. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Simply free checking with First Bankers Trust. No monthly fees and easy digital banking. Plus, show your school spirit with a Blue Devil Spirit card. Get yours today and proudly support the Blue Devils all season long. Go Blue Devils!
Business telephone systems enhance productivity. Fire alarms increase your safety. Surveillance and security ensures your peace of mind. Experience, technology, service. United Systems.
When you're shopping at the grocery store, do you ever wonder where your beef comes from? Here at Jersey's, we do not. We know all of our beef comes directly from GJY Beef Company in Brown County. We know that these cattle are born and raised right here in our own backyard. So next time that you're looking for a juicy burger, ribeye sandwich, or mouth-watering steak, look no further than GJY Beef Company and Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Cam Point, Illinois.
For 125 years, Hollister Whitney has designed and manufactured solutions for the vertical transportation industry right here in Quincy, Illinois. Now you have the chance to be a vital part of this quality-driven, family-oriented team. We have salaried and hourly positions available, both with excellent benefits and very competitive wages. Cutting-edge technology, a dynamic, engaging, and flexible work environment, the opportunity to achieve your full potential. Elevate your career to the next level at Hollister Whitney.
My name is Jamie Kincaid, and we own Sterling Tax Service. I am a retired fireman. We came to Edwards Group originally to figure out where we were with our estate. For us, it was peace of mind that our daughter wouldn't have to try and figure out what was going on, because it would be impossible for her. It's an easy process. You get off the fence and do it, because you will appreciate it later.
Call Edwards Group today to schedule your path to peace of mind.
Hi, I'm Rory O'Donnell with the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home. As a Quincy University alum, I understand the impact a local business has on area athletics. That is why the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home takes pride in supporting local athletic teams. We want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this season. The O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home of Quincy, supporting local athletics for 5 generations.
Business moves at the speed of light. How can you keep pace with today's technological advancements in alarms, surveillance, and phone systems? 2 words, United Systems. Contact us today for your no-obligation business review.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We're in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio down here in downtown Quincy, talking prep football, and we're going to do it every Friday night during the regular season. So come join us 10 to midnight, watch us live. If you can't stay up, if you're traveling with your team, or if there's lightning delays, like we still have teams playing, as I get caught up here, Brown County trailing Greenfield Northwestern 6-0 in the third quarter. You can catch us tomorrow. We'll have everything on our website. We're recording the show as we go live, but come back, join us, check it out. Because I know those little boys from Brown County, they're not going to be able to join us live tonight because they're still playing. And that would be Quincy High School coach Rick Little's brother and nephew, the starting quarterback, Vince. And Bo's playing this year, too.
Yeah, Bo's my favorite. So. No, not necessarily.
And well, I'll remind him of that.
Yes.
I'll remind Vince of that.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
But I know you and Tom, and your boys. I know Rick and Braden and Vince, are pretty tight. Yeah. And they all follow each other, and that's really cool, isn't it?
It is cool. It is cool, and it kind of takes me back when I was a kid. I was the youngest of 3, and so you follow each other and you do things, and just tight-knit communities is pretty cool, and obviously the game of football and that is really cool. So
were mom and dad at the game tonight?
They were
Okay.
able to go, so that's always fun too. And kind of look to see where they're at, and if they're there and settled in, I'm like, okay, the world's all right, so we're in good shape here.
Good. Interesting first half tonight. A little back and forth. Notre Dame came back at you after you scored, but you go to the locker room or into halftime with a lead.
Mm-hmm.
What was your message at halftime?
I'm glad you asked, Matt, because because I mean it was an 8-point lead.
Right. It was 20-12.
Yeah, 8-point lead, and so I felt like we talk a lot about social loafing on our team. Like, hey, we got good players, but if you better not just rely on this guy or this guy or this guy to make a play. So I had him look up into the stands. I said, fellas, I got this really weird feeling, right? So like I'm at my best when I feel threatened. When I gotta feel threatened, right? And so I said, I don't know if you feel threatened or not right now, but I said, imagine all those people on this field celebrating in about 24 minutes, because they just, obviously I think pulled up off an upset. So they peeked up in there. They looked, and we just at that point were like, hey, we got to get better, and we just got to get this thing going. And we knew we got the ball back at the half, but little things and silly things can happen. So kind of putting that visual. Just like I said, I think it's important that they just felt some pressure, and they did, and obviously they responded well.
What was your message to them after the game, then?
Yeah, my message after was that, hey, listen, winning's a habit. Unfortunately, so is the other thing. I mean, if you don't score more points than the other team, I don't even like to say the word.
I know you said the other thing.
Yes.
It's kind of like me when I talk about the state to the school to the west of Missouri.
I understand.
And we've talked about that.
I don't say that word a lot, but it rhymes with boss, right? So, but winning's a habit, right? And so there's certain things that we do that we think that we do really well, and that there's time invested. We're really proud of how hard we work and all the time put in. So. That was I told him the message right before the game was, hey, trust your work, right? Trust the work that you put in, and if you do, that should put you at ease that you're gonna go out there and do great things.
Most encouraging thing you saw tonight, what would it be?
Yeah, great question. Probably our offensive line. I mean, we sit there and we think, well, gosh, there were some penalties here and penalties there. Yes, but they've got to play, they've got to gel, they've got to get comfortable.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I thought, the guys that have been making plays for a lot of years, we expect them to make plays.
Right.
I thought we were very efficient in the pass game. I mean, I don't even have the numbers in front of me, but I thought we went in 10 or 11 passes before we, threw an incompletion. Yeah. And so it's being efficient. It's getting the ball in and out of our hands, and putting it in the guys' hands that making plays. And I felt like that was a good tempo and certainly a confidence that the offense exhibited.
Go home next week.
Yeah.
Get a game in before conference play starts, and you gotta take advantage of that home game and build for the start of Western Big Six play.
Yeah, yep, and you gotta get better, right? And I said that. I mean, we got a win, and so we're certainly happy about that. So I don't want to sound like I'm, you want to enjoy the victory, but that thing I love is like there are things, and our guys work hard, but I can only bark at them so much that until they have to experience some real things in order to understand and realize, okay, we got to get better here, and I'm. Like I said, we have a pretty good sample size. We have pretty good data to work with. So certainly work hard this week and try to get that second one.
I know one thing you and I have always talked about with this game in particular is it celebrates the Quincy football community.
Yeah.
Not one school or the other. It celebrates everybody together building football in this community. It really did tonight. You saw a lot of people there.
Yeah, it did. And I'm glad, because at one point it was like 40-12, and I mean we wanted to get guys in, and we want to make sure that listen, we want to get our work in, but it's also we respect the opponent, and that's something that we want to make sure that was them, and I was appreciative that they appreciated that. So because it's great kids on both sides.
Yeah, no doubt.
Kids that I've coached in Little League baseball, this, that, and the other. It makes it fun. I told in the broadcast booth afterwards the game just said. I just rather play a stranger sometimes. You know what I mean? Because I don't have any emotion. There's no emotion that goes into it.
Well, I know it was a great night of football, and I think both teams benefit from tonight's action, and I think both teams are going to win games as the year goes on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we will. I know they will, and I think you saw a lot of things that they do well, and I think you saw a lot of things that we do well, and a lot of things that we can improve upon.
Well, thanks for being our first in-studio guest in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio.
Yeah, that's like maybe they have those dollar bills on your first dollar made. I feel like maybe I should get a picture or something.
Well, I mean, we had the big Blue Devil head over here. So we got some things going in. Maybe we need to get you
for sure.
of Muddy Night Lights. We can get you, every guest should get a T-shirt or something.
No, hey, listen, I appreciate it. I just appreciate, and I mean it, I don't want to get all throw compliments back at you, but I just appreciate that this is available. I appreciate that you guys celebrate this game, celebrate our kids, and I will do it every time.
Well, I appreciate you taking time to come down here. Let's do it again, and I'll see you this week, of course.
Yep.
So, awesome.
Well, thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thanks. For Quincy High School coach Rick Little, thank him for joining us live here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. And when we come back, we're going to get back on the United Systems hotline, talk more football. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Your policy's updated.
Because we know your house is where their dreams begin.
Impressive.
Thanks, Caleb. And our agents are here to help you feel protected, so your family can pursue their dreams. Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
Hey, grab me one too.
Muddy Night Lights is also brought to you by Town & Country Inn and Nationwide Transportation.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
For 125 years, Hollister Whitney has designed and manufactured solutions for the vertical transportation industry right here in Quincy, Illinois. Now you have the chance to be a vital part of this quality-driven, family-oriented team. We have salaried and hourly positions available, both with excellent benefits and very competitive wages. Cutting-edge technology, a dynamic, engaging, and flexible work environment, the opportunity to achieve your full potential. Elevate your career to the next level at Hollister Whitney.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We got another score update. We were able to track that down. Deer Creek Mackinac beats West Hancock 58-28 tonight. We're going to run through the whole Schottenkirk Toyota scoreboard here at the top of the hour. I think we got everything, every score in so far throughout our area, except the 2 games that were lightning delayed and still being played. But right now, before we get to any other scores or anything like that, we're heading back to the United Systems hotline to talk to Pittsfield coach Zack Ferguson. Coach, how are you?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm sure I know you guys lost tonight to Jacksonville 26-14, but it sounded like quite an effort from the Saukeys and a really good way for you guys to build from, right?
Yeah, our kids' effort tonight was outstanding. Probably 4 points away from, making that maybe a win for us. So, it's one of those things where can't fault the kids for their effort. They battled their butts off, gave everything they had against Jacksonville, and we just came up a little short.
Did you have an idea going in what you were going to get out of this game?
We knew what we had. I think other people maybe didn't know what we had or didn't think we'd have much. With this junior and senior class, we knew what we had the potential to be. And you know, it didn't surprise that the game was the way it was.
Sounded like you guys were able to move the ball on the ground. I know Lane Foster with 2 touchdown runs, including the big 70-yard run. But it sounded like you guys were able to move the ball against Jacksonville's defense.
Yeah, well, I mean, we threw the ball 4 times tonight. Everything else runs. You know, Jesse didn't have the yardage that he is capable of, just because they were honoring him so much on the fullback stuff. So, you know, we had some kids really step up. Jonas had a couple big runs for us. Our offensive line was just awesome. I mean, making adjustments and on their own and just in playing physical. And, you know, it's definitely something I want to build on.
I know when I was down there at the start of practice and got the opportunity to talk with, you know, Jaron White and Draven Peterbow, and, you know, those guys love playing offensive line and getting after it and driving people off the ball, don't they?
Right. Yeah, they do. And you know, our guys have the perfect mindset for what we're trying to do. They love driving people. They love pancakes. They love throwing it up. I mean, they just have the mindset to do it. And, you know, against a very, you know, big D-line, O-line type situation, did a really good job with them. And, you know, there's times where it was, and then, you know, second half, there's a lot of stalemates on defense when we're on defense and they're on offense. I mean, our kids they proved to other people, which what we already knew is this could be a really good team. And I think the kids understand how close they were to, you know, pulling a big upset in many people's minds.
With that in mind, was there disappointment from them afterward and the fact that they lost, or was there signs of okay, we just went toe-to-toe with a Class 5A school that plays in the Central State 8. We're going to go win games.
Right.
You know, was it a little more upbeat because of that, or was there still pretty bitterly disappointed?
I mean, there's kids that were disappointed, not so much in the team, but, you know, maybe themselves a little bit. But as far as the general vibe of the team, I mean, they knew what they just did. You know, they were holding each other accountable. They were, you know, there was great leadership happening after the game, during the game from our kids. You know, I always say coach-led teams aren't as good as player-led teams. Yeah. And our kids are doing a really, you know, I saw that tonight where they're taking ownership of their team. And that's fun to see because, you know, there was no pouting. There was no, you know, heads hanging. They know what they did and what they are capable of doing. They know that they obviously have room to improve, but know that the foundation is there.
Awesome. Coach, great effort by your guys tonight. I know that's going to carry you forward when you get into Sangamo conference play. And it had to be a fun night playing Jacksonville, you know, 37 miles apart. And I'm guessing the crowd embraced that.
Yeah, I mean, it was both, you know, we had a good crowd. They had a good crowd. You know, I see everybody in lightning delays and having to maybe travel again. And,
right.
You know, it's, you know, Coach Brown talked and we were going to get this game in and everything just kind of went around Pittsfield because, you know, we got that windmill that kind of pushes everything away, it seems like. So, you know, it was a cool situation. You know, we hadn't played Jackson. I had a guy look it up, 66 years. It was just kind of cool. You know, we both needed a game. I think it'll definitely help them moving forward. It's definitely going to help us, as you said, when we get into the Sangamo next week. It's one of those things where it was just you know, playing a new team like that, it's just a new experience. And, you know, as our kids battled, their kids battled. I mean, it was just a really good football game.
Awesome, man. Well, Coach, thanks for taking the time to join us here on the United Systems Hotline, and look forward to talking to you more as the year goes on, and good luck in Sangamo Conference play.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Zach. Take care, bud.
Yep.
That was Pittsfield coach Zack Ferguson joining us on the United Systems Hotline. Sauky's put up quite a battle tonight with Jacksonville, losing 26-14. But, man, that's quite an effort against a Class 5A Central State 8 Conference school. And again, we've seen a lot of great action tonight. We've got our scores finally updated. We got 2 games still going on because of the lightning delays. We'll see if we can get an update on a couple of those. I did see Brown County was still down 6-0 to Greenfield Northwestern, so we'll get caught up. When we come back, we're going to run through the Shawn Creek Toyota scoreboard, give you all the scores and updates, and then we got a special guest here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. So stick with us. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Sometimes life throws bold moments at you, like finding the perfect vacation or finding the ideal location. At BOS, we're there to help you meet those moments with bold confidence. So whether it's managing money for future plans or getting what you need to start planning your dream, we're here to bring you a better banking experience. Make the bold move and switch to BOS today.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
Hi, I'm Rory O'Donnell with the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home. As a Quincy University alum, I understand the impact a local business has on area athletics. That is why the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home takes pride in supporting local athletic teams. We want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this season. The O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home of Quincy, supporting local athletics for 5 generations.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Motor vehicle accidents are traumatic situations, and oftentimes they can result in very significant and permanent injuries. In Steve and Paula's case, they were hit by a drunk driver on the bridge. They realized very quickly that it was a significant accident and that they deserved to be reasonably compensated. Now, having worked for the insurance companies for several years, I know how to best present your case. If you've been in a motor vehicle accident, call McCleary Law.
From your trash to your recycling, you're doing your part. You can trust us to do ours. We're a team of people working hard for you, turning problems into solutions and waste into possibilities. We're Republic Services. We haul it, we recycle it, we convert it, we even electrify it. We work where you work. We live where you live. We are Republic Services.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. Thanks for sticking with us. We made it through hour number 1, had some great guests, both on the United Systems hotline and in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. Love talking football and had some great insight from the coaches. We're going to get some more great insight right here in the studio coming up here in a few minutes from a guy who, let's face it, he loves football more than anybody I know as far as high school football. That's why we're going to have so much fun chatting tonight. You may know him. He wears glasses. He's bald. He likes to light the beam and now the dome.
The dome, too.
So we'll get to that here in a minute. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Schuckman. We're here for another hour. We got a couple guests lined up. We're going to talk to South Shelby coach Adam Gunnerman later this hour. Muddy River Sports writer Shane Holtzley, who was at the Valley Catholic Monroe City game, is going to join us here in studio. He just got back from his road trip, so we're going to let him get some work done, and then we'll We'll get his take on what happened over at Langford Field tonight. But we need to run through the scores real quick. Scoreboard brought to you by Schottenkirk Toyota. Kick it off right here in town at 10th and Jackson tonight. Quincy High School with a 40-12 victory over Quincy Notre Dame. Jefferson City Elias with a 31-20 victory over Hannibal at Porter Stadium in America's hometown. We talked to Jeff Gschwender. I think Hannibal's going to be just fine. I think that's a juggernaut team, Class 5 team they played in Elias. So they're going to be just fine. And I think if you heard our interview with Jeff Gschwender, you could hear it. You know they're going to be okay. Camp Point Central, 69-0 over North Green. No surprise. Panthers are that good. And they're the reigning Class 1A state champions for a reason. And they're the number 1 ranked team in the Class 1A state poll for a reason. You know, they're good. Face it, they're really good. Valley Catholic over Monroe City, 47-14. Again, we'll talk more about that game later this hour. Talked to Pittsfield coach Zack Ferguson. His team lost tonight to Jacksonville 26-14 at Glenn Smith Field, but really good effort from the Saukeys. A lot to build from there. South Shelby, 60-22 over Harrisburg. Mercy, the Cardinals can score. And they score in bundles, and they got guys all over the field that can do it. They're going to be fun to watch. Macomb, 49-8 over Lewiston. Macomb, again, if they run the ball, they're going to be really good, and that's Tanner Horrell's big thing. If they can run the ball, really good. Farmington over Illini West, 33-0. Mark Twain beats Highland, 32-14. Deer Creek Mackinac takes down West Hancock, 58-28. Palmyra over Hallsville in double overtime, 42-40. What a win for the Panthers to start the year. On the road, double overtime. Wyatt Augsburg with a big play in overtime to win that game. Pierce White, tremendous effort tonight. I know he had at least 3 touchdowns. We'll get some stat updates for you as well. Triopia beats Pleasant Hill, 8-6. And then we got 2 games still going on. Yes, it is after 11. Yes, it's Friday night. It's late. But we had lightning delays, both in Winchester and Greenfield. 2-hour-plus delays, lightning delays. So right now, Brown County at Greenfield Northwestern in the second half. Last we knew, it was 6-0 Greenfield. And then Unity Payson at Winchester West Central. West Central was up at halftime, 22-14. We'll get some more updates as we go on. But there's your scoreboard brought to you by Schottenkirk Toyota. Again, we'll keep updating you. Those games, as those last 2 games get later and we get later into the show, we'll try to get you some finals. Maybe they'll be done before we're done. Again, we were going to try to talk to those coaches. We'll talk to them maybe next week or throughout the week, because we're going to, obviously we're here 10 to midnight every Friday night, but we're going to talk football throughout the week and get you prepared each week for what goes on. And I know this guy loves talking football, so we're going to jump right here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio to my guest, the good doctor himself, Dr. Duerr. Chris Duerr, KHK Sports Director.
It's been too long, my friend. I've missed you this summer.
I know. We didn't hang out much at all.
We ran into each other one stop. Period. That never happens.
Well, and the crazy part is, we both try to take time off in the summer.
Right.
And we both did. We both took some road trips and did some stuff. Because of that, our paths never crossed.
They didn't. Other than you being kind enough to pick me up in the golf cart at Brown County as we both took in the Hornets practice.
Yes.
And obviously, I think we're seeing with the competitive level that they're playing against Greenfield Northwestern tonight, you and I were both kind of right on Brown County being better this year. What that means relative to the rest of the WIVC, I don't know after tonight.
I don't either. One thing you and I had talked about, and one thing I had kind of stressed, is the WIVC North is going to be a battleground this year. Unity Payson's pretty good. Brown County's pretty good. You get the big dog out there in Camp Point Central.
Right.
But then you go to the south, Winchester West Central's good. Greenfield Northwestern's coming off a state semifinal appearance. And you got Calhoun,
who we'll know a lot more about tomorrow when they test themselves against a really explosive Route Catholic team.
Right.
And then next week, you've got Camp Point Central at Aaron Elmore's place, at Calhoun, where we had that classic playoff battle last year. I think next week is going to tell us a lot. I know North Green is still struggling. Shout out to your boy Cody Leonard, though. They're starting to make a little bit of turn.
They are. I like to see that.
And it's tough to play Central right out of the gate. I think they'll be a little bit better. Next week's the week we find out how good Camp Point Central's early good is, because I think that is a legit Calhoun threat next week.
I think, even with an injury, a key injury.
Right, a super key injury.
So we're going to find out a lot more about that. A quick update, Greenfield Northwestern still up 6-0 on Brown County in the fourth quarter. Brown County with the ball. near midfield. So
Isn't social media amazing?
It is. Well, it's fun because I can sit here while we're talking, and I can have the computer up in front of me. I can have it muted and everything. And I've got the YouTube of Brown County, and Brown County just ripped off a huge, almost broke off a big touchdown run. See, that's the fun thing about this. We're live. We can talk. We can laugh. We can do whatever. But we're talking football.
You and I have done this long enough. I remember having to call people at 10:15, trying to find a score from one of the radio stations.
Amen.
Now everything is there for us. The job supposedly is supposed to be a little easier. Week one, you get delays like we had tonight.
Yeah.
We've got new people running around and trying to figure out how to get from Monroe City to Hannibal. It was, it's if I had any hair left.
Okay. Should we out him on the first show, Ben Schmidt?
He did fine. He tried so hard to coax some kind of highlight out of Monroe City against Valley Catholic. And I had told him early, you're not going to make it happen. And he learned, but he got back. He got it all done.
I thought you were going to tell me he got lost from Monroe City to Hannibal.
It was a small timing issue, but it worked out in his favor. So we survived night one. I mean, but it's not just us, Matt. Everybody I talked to, Rod Smith was dealing with it tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt Pegler was dealing with it. New crews. So I have 4 sets of highlights I haven't even seen yet that'll be here tomorrow for overtime. So I guess that's just the new reality of new guys.
At least you know with overtime you're going to have plenty of stuff.
I am not going to be lacking tomorrow by any stretch.
No, not at all. So where were you tonight? Where did you go?
I went to Rushville Industry.
Okay.
I had very, very positive vibes in the preseason about a Rushville Industry team that I think is going to be very good the next 2 years. And they showed some signs of that against a Stark County team that won that conference.
Right.
By the way, what a road trip in week 1 from Stark County to Rushville.
Oh, wow.
That's insane. But, you saw a little bit of it. Rushville Industry was plagued by some of that youth tonight. 3 turnovers early that just kind of undid them. And then I came back early because I was in charge of editing and gathering video that, was supposed to come from other stations. So, it was a night where I did a lot of listening. God bless the folks who still broadcast on the radio.
Love that. Love getting in the truck and being able to turn on a game on the radio.
And I listened to a lot of Triopia playing at Pleasant Hill Western, although a lot of that was Eugene trying to get his way through a light out situation. Apparently the power went down at Pleasant Hill for a good 25 minutes. So week 1, everybody has their snafus.
It happens.
It does.
All right, you gonna stick around and join us for another segment?
I am indeed.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Let's take a break and we'll come back and we got plenty more to talk about. Chris Duerr in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio alongside me. Make sure you come back. We got plenty to talk about. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Nine million Americans suffer from.
Life is full of bad surprises, like interrupted broadcasts, or you get a flat tire.
I got the inflator. I'm on my way.
Maybe your dog chews up your boots.
This is a chew toy. This is not.
Or you run out of toilet paper.
Who's coming through?
Or you hit a deer. But not every surprise is bad, like being able to find everything you need in one place. Your local Farm and Home Supply.
No other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply.
Hey, grab me one too.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues,
ready,
future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot, as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
If you've been in a motor vehicle accident, contact McCleary Law.
There was nowhere to go. We were on a bridge.
All of a sudden, a guy started going over in our lane and hit his head on.
I couldn't even breathe. It was just unbelievable that it even happened.
We needed to get a hold of an attorney, and our first thoughts was to get a hold of Dan McCleary. Everything's pretty easy when you deal with Dan.
He got us way more than we expected to get.
We don't charge anything until we win your case. Call McCleary Law.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. Sitting here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio, I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Schuckman. Going to break it down some more with KHQA Sports Director Chris Duerr here momentarily. But we want to give you an update to the Schottenkirk Toyota scoreboard. Right now in the fourth quarter in Winchester, West Central leads Unity Payson 36-22. And at Greenfield Northwestern leads Brown County 6-0. Brown County had a big run there. I thought they were getting in scoring position. It must have come back because of a penalty. Oh, nope. I have to refresh my YouTube feed. And we're at a commercial now. So we'll get an update on the Hornets here in a bit. Again, Chris Duerr joining us here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me. This is a wonderful thing you guys are doing. Yeah. We had talked about this because I don't know that Illinois knows what the Northeast Missouri community had with the End Zone Show. And you guys bringing this to the entire Tri-States is awesome. So kudos to Muddy River.
We're trying. We've got some more guests coming up later this hour. We'll have the Starry Star of the Night, brought to you by Refreshment Services Pepsi. So what they wanted to do, and we talked about it with them, is to highlight somebody who's had an outstanding performance of the night. So there's some other tidbits that are going to come with that. But each week we will name one of those, usually right about the 11:40 mark. Okay. Before we wrap up the show, so we want to make sure we get to that. Hopefully, Adam Gunnerman and the South Shelby Cardinals are traveling from Harrisburg back to Shelbina, but he's promised me they'll get back in time to join us on the show. So we'll see how that goes. As we run down the scores, you were here when I ran down the scoreboard at the top of the hour. What jumped out at you? What impressed you the most maybe of tonight?
I think first and foremost, obviously Palmyra with a win.
Yes.
Which I had gone to see Dalton Hill. Dalton Hill didn't know where he was relative to anybody else. Yeah. And I don't think Palmyra was getting a lot of push with their first team starters. I think the drop-off between the first teamers and the second teamers was significant. Yeah. And Dalton couldn't tell where he was. And Dalton, as you well know, is an offensive line guy. And when you're not getting your offensive line tested, you start getting a little nuts in the head.
Yes.
I think tonight was a prime example that Colby Jones and that crew up front is going to be very, very good for Palmyra moving forward this year.
I think so too.
The other thing that struck me, and I know you were talking to Zack Ferguson when I came in, after 15 years, is Pittsfield finally getting that defensive edge that seems to have been lacking for so very long? Because Jacksonville is so good with their run game and so big up front. And to be up 13-12, I know we don't do moral victories, but the Sockies really held their own against maybe the biggest offensive line in the entire region.
Well, and again, this is a team that has some size up front in Jaron White and Draven Peterbow, and they got some guys that they're really encouraged by up front. You got guys that are 3-year starters up front with size. They built for this. They built to be a factor this year and maybe have a chance to get to the playoffs. Now, they lose to Jacksonville. That wasn't the win they figured they were going to get against Riverton. But that's okay. They got to play a great game in a great atmosphere, and maybe it sparks them to beat a team that they weren't supposed to beat. Maybe there's another one on there that you sat there and go, well, they were going to lose that one. And now you go, well, maybe not. I think there's a lot of hope with this Pittsfield program, which is great to see. Zack Ferguson, a Pittsfield guy, came home to coach them. You love to see that. You love to see guys who are invested in their communities. Just a really good effort against one of our favorite people in Mark Grounds.
Well, and I would point out it's one thing to do that in practice. It's another thing to do it against the Sangamo. When you're standing in the trenches and you're holding your own against Aiden Surratt, you're doing something. So obviously I think Pittsfield should feel they have momentum, even with the loss spun forward into their conference slate.
By the way, we talked briefly earlier about the ability to get scores and get updates, and we got another update. Winchester West Central just went up 42-22 on Unity Basin. But what I figured out, and a guy we both know fairly well, and Quincy University football coach Jason Kilday, has always told me that I would fit in well in Winchester. So I'm watching the YouTube live stream on the Winchester or on the West Central Athletics page, and there's trucks lined up along the sideline and people sitting in the back of their trucks watching the game. I'm there.
If you don't go to the Winchester Invitational and we don't sit outside Rural Cyclery with a red eye with Kilday, we're not doing our job trying to convince you to get to the most charming basketball tournament on earth.
I told Kent Coltis that I'm coming over this winter, and he's got to do a shuck on a truck with me, even if it's snowing.
That is awesome. And it will be, because it always is.
It always is. Unique weather tonight. Hot as could be earlier in the week. Everybody had to adjust practice schedules. We had teams going at 5 a.m. We had teams practicing at 9 o'clock. I drove out to Camp Point the other night to just do some more work with them and watch the Lightning the entire way.
Right.
And when I
saw your video.
Yeah, when I got there, they were in the gym, and it was like, okay, we're not doing anything outside tonight, because it wasn't raining. But we just had weird weather this week, and then it got really nice today.
Well, it was weird today because I was down in Troy for softball, watching that really good Highland softball team.
Yes.
I left to get back. I turned around. and it was sunny, and it was 92, and it was stifling. I no more got about halfway home trying to get to soccer, and I see the note from Bowling Green that the tournament is canceled. So apparently a rainstorm came from out of nowhere, knocked the temperature down 15 degrees, and wiped out that entire tournament for the weekend.
Crazy.
Bizarre weather.
Crazy. And I don't know if you heard any of my conversation with Zack Ferguson, like Winchester, lightning delay, Greenfield, lightning delay, and it just skirted right around Pittsfield.
Pittsfield, nothing.
And I'm sure Mark Grounds was like, hey, it's lightning.
Groundsy.
Let's play some Bob Seger and move on.
Yeah, that's Groundsy. Break out the attack Shih Tzu and let's go to work.
There you go. So we did see some interesting things, though locally around here. We talked, Quincy High, Quincy, Notre Dame, gave us a game that we expect, hard-nosed. Both teams are going to fight. Both teams are going to try to, Quincy High is really good offensively. They've got so many skill position guys. But Notre Dame's got some grit to it.
It does.
And with that schedule they're facing, you're going to have some grit.
We talked to Derek Leonard. We talked to Mark Grounds. Both those guys think Quincy Notre Dame's not only getting 6, or at least 5, they're getting into the playoffs, and they're staying in the 2A dance for a long time.
I would agree.
If that's how it shakes. And that's not you and I talking. That's Leonard and Grounds.
Well, and they know those teams they're going to play Notre Dame's going to play out of the Central Stadium.
Right.
Obviously, you got the big dog over there in Sacred Heart Griffin.
You do.
Okay.
But you don't have to see Rochester in the crossover.
Right. And you don't have to see Chatham Glenwood.
No.
Lincoln, Decatur, MacArthur
are very beatable.
Very beatable. The Springfield schools outside of Sacred Heart Griffin. I don't know how good Springfield High is this year. Springfield High is one of those unique teams. Can be really good some years. Can be, drop off. They're an up and down team. Lanphier, coach quit in the middle of preseason.
Right.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame's stability, its culture, its tenacity, and the way those guys play defense is going to carry them to victories. I think they even go get one next week against Richmond Burton.
I think that would change the calculus entirely. Yeah. I also think that Week 8 game with Jacksonville is huge.
Yeah, it is.
For both teams at this point.
No question. No question about it. Just kind of looking down the scoreboard real quick. Helias is what we expected. Hannibal is kind of what we expected, where they're going to get better. I mean, they have to adjust to Noah Nias.
Did you see what Troy Buchanan did last night?
They put up some big numbers.
They did. So this front end of the schedule is really hard.
Yes.
And Jeff Gschwender said he needed that because the conference does them nothing.
Nothing.
So this is a really good moment. And these are not bad losses. These are good losses.
Right.
I know there's no such thing. But also, if Hannibal wants to do what it wants to do in the postseason, and we saw the district today, what they need to do is take in as much of these first 3 weeks as they can and spin that forward. And they showed some grit tonight.
And I haven't heard anymore. I haven't talked to Clint Graham lately to find out, but obviously Fulton's leaving the NCMC.
Yes.
what's the future of the NCMC going to be? And that could be critical for Hannibal because do the teams from Troy, Wentzville, the GAC, the Gateway Athletic Conference, they don't want them.
They don't want them. Clint Graham said that to me point blank.
Yeah.
They do not want them.
So where does Hannibal go?
Hannibal has become the new Q&D.
Yeah.
I mean, the Missouri version where they're not going to be able to find their way into a conference, victims of their own success.
Yeah. And that's okay. That's the way it goes sometimes. But they got to find something. They've got those Central Missouri schools, the Jeff City schools, the Columbia schools, is that where Hannibal has to go?
I think it might have to be.
It might be to be in a conference because eventually the Marshalls, the Mexicos, they're going to say, the NCMC's done.
Absolutely. One other interesting development, by the way, since we talked a little bit about Valley Catholic, and I know you've got Shane coming in to talk about that.
Right.
How big and fun is that Bowling Green Valley Catholic game going to be later this season?
No question.
Because you saw what Mark Rounds' team did tonight, or Mark St. Clair. What Mark St. Clair's team did tonight to Clark County.
Yeah.
I think that's another really good Bowling Green team that's on the cusp of doing some really amazing things.
You know, I mean, you look at the talent they have. Yeah. It's pretty impressive.
It is.
On Bowling Green. And St. Clair can coach a little bit.
So I've heard. And interesting tonight, just the dynamic. I wanted to be there. I didn't think it'd be much of a game.
Yeah.
But Ethan Allen got his coaching start on Mark St. Clair's staff.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. And
forgot about that.
And there is nobody. In fact, when Mark St. Clair had his health issue, the first person who called was Ethan Allen. Yeah. And because there's a lot of love there between those two. And so it's just interesting, and I just think that's a really interesting dynamic tonight of that Clark County Bowling Green game, the Mark St. Clair, Ethan Allen relationship.
Yeah, well, again, there's going to be a lot of really cool games as we move forward. Week 1's been a lot of fun.
It has been.
And I think week 2's going to be a lot of fun. And who knows? Maybe we can get you back here on the sofa sometime.
I would love to do that. So, yes, anytime that you guys need me, I will make myself available to you as best I can. I thank you guys for doing this. Again, it's the culture that makes this place unique, the Tri-States, and anytime you can feed it the way you have, and God, Muddy River has done such a great job of that. You even got Grant Peebles a shout-out this week on Muddy River, my guy from Pleasant Hill.
That's right.
So it's a beautiful thing.
That is a good thing. Overtime tomorrow night?
Overtime.
What can we expect?
We're going to break down Route Calhoun really hard tomorrow night.
Okay.
I think we'll have South Shelby and Palmyra highlights from tonight that will finally have showed up from Columbia.
Okay.
A little bit of volleyball, obviously. Going back to see Macomb tomorrow. Got the Quincy Notre Dame anticipated showdown at the early bird.
Yep.
Probably not a lot of soccer. We had some soccer tonight. Soccer was a little struggly.
Yeah, I think struggly's a good word. It's because it's going to be a while before either Quincy High or Quincy Notre Dame shows us what they can do. A lot of growing pains for both teams, and this is a rough weekend for them because they're playing some really good competition too.
Be interesting to see what Hannibal does down in Rolla. Just a quick soccer aside, obviously. The Bodie Rollins injury last week was scary, but apparently just a concussion. So that's one more story. Yes, one more storyline to keep an eye on.
Awesome. Well, we'll let you get out of here. I know you got other work to do.
I do. So I got to get back. I got another hour and a half to do it back at work.
Yeah, same thing when we end here.
I know.
So anyway, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for everything Muddy River does for this culture and for this community. You guys are awesome.
You got it, brother. For Chris Duerr, KHQA Sports Director, thank him for joining us. When we come back, we're going to stay right here in the studio and talk more. We're going to talk Monroe City football with our own Muddy River sports writer, Shane Holsey. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
I love to shop online, and one thing I'm not going to screw up is a piece of jewelry that I'm going to wear for the rest of my life.
And it's as simple as just being able to see it. Like, just being able to actually physically hold it and see it, that's different than like, oh, look, I'm on the internet. Like, that looks nice, I think.
Trying on rings and seeing different sizes and the different colors, and I just want to be able to touch and feel it and have the experience. Having the experience is going to be more important to me than just adding something to a cart and clicking buy now.
There are 3 things that she's going to get asked. How did he propose? How big's the diamond? And where did he get it?
I'm proud to tell my friends that, this is where I got my ring.
I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of a no-brainer.
From your trash to your recycling, you're doing your part. You can trust us to do ours. We're a team of people working hard for you, turning problems into solutions and waste into possibilities. We're Republic Services. We haul it, we recycle it, we convert it, we even electrify it. We work where you work. We live where you live. We are Republic Services.
When you're shopping at the grocery store, do you ever wonder where your beef comes from? Here at Jersey's, we do not. We know all of our beef comes directly from GJY Beef Company in Brown County. We know that these cattle are born and raised right here in our own backyard. So next time that you're looking for a juicy burger, ribeye sandwich, or mouth-watering steak, look no further than GJY Beef Company and Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Cam Point, Illinois.
9 million Americans suffer from...
Life is full of bad surprises, like interrupt a broadcast, or you get a flat tire.
I bought the inflator. I'm on my way.
Maybe your dog chews up your boots.
This is a chew toy. This is not.
Or you run out of toilet paper.
Who's coming through?
Or you hit a deer. But not every surprise is bad, like being able to find everything you need in one place. Your local farm and home supply.
No other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply.
Sometimes life throws bold moments at you, like finding the perfect vacation or finding the ideal location. At BOS, we're there to help you meet those moments with bold confidence. So whether it's managing money for future plans or getting what you need to start planning your dream, we're here to bring you a better banking experience. Make the bold move and switch to BOS today.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We do have our final two scores in, so we're going back to the Schottenkirk Toyota scoreboard. Unity Payson falls at Winchester West Central 50-22, and Brown County goes to Greenfield Northwestern, comes up a little short, 6-0 against a team that made it to the state semifinals last year. I told you Brown County was going to be pretty good this year. I'm anxious to see how that plays out. This WIVC North is going to be tough, so we'll run down more scores here in a little bit. But right now, we're going to stay right here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio, talk a little action from the Missouri side of the river. Shane Holsey, Muddy River sports writer, joining us. You were in Monroe City tonight over at Langford Field for the showdown with Valley Catholic.
Man, it feels good to be out and about on a Friday night again, I'll tell you what.
It does. It really does. All right, so how to break down?
Early on, a little bit choppy, a lot of, procedure penalties, a lot of holding calls, false starts, a little bit choppy at the beginning, and Monroe City hung tight in the first quarter especially. Dylan Ross had a massive 80-yard touchdown when it seemed like Monroe City had nothing going on offense. They cut it to a 12-6 game, and then immediately the next play, Quincy Mayfield forces a fumble and recovers it, and then Monroe City goes 3 and out their next 3 drives. Valley Catholic kind of starts to, it's almost like death by 1,000 cuts.
Well, and the thing with a team like Valley Catholic, a team that has won 15 state titles, if you don't take advantage of their mistakes, they're going to capitalize on yours.
Exactly.
That's probably what happened.
Exactly what happened.
Yeah. Full 47-14 final.
47-14.
And it was tight early. I know when you first, you and I were messaging back and forth, keeping track of scores, it was 12-6. And I thought, okay, Monroe City's hanging in there. And then it got away from them.
Yep.
And was that Valley Catholic's offense? Was it their size? Was it, what set Valley Catholic apart?
It was, you could tell, we throw around the phrase leaning on another team. You could tell they were just leaning on them. And Monroe City got to a lot of 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and then Valley would rip off a 15-yard little screen or a run and just kept drives churning. They had several 8, 9, 10, 11 play drives, and Monroe City's defense was out there for a long time.
And they have so many guys playing both ways or are contributing on both sides of the ball that when you're out there that many plays and then you got to turn around and play offense, that's tough. That's tough. What did you see from Monroe City that makes you go, they're going to be okay. They're going to be tough in the CCC.
Well, first of all, they rushed for 228 yards,
Good.
which is encouraging. And I really liked what I saw from Jaden Holland.
Okay.
He had a lot of those third down carries that really kept the drive moving. He had 79 yards on just 10 carries. He really impressed me. Of course, Dylan Ross went for over 100. So we know that the running game is going to be there. It's just a matter of getting Wyatt DeGrave a little bit more comfortable. He had an absolutely beautiful throw in the third quarter to Abram Smizer. It was his only completion. It was a 4th down touchdown pass. I mean, right over the top, dropped it in the bucket. And we're like, that's what he's capable of, and you'll see more of that as the season goes on, as he gets more comfortable.
All right, you have work to go do.
Yes,
You got to get it started, because when I get done on the air here, then I got to start piecing together everything that's going to be on the website tomorrow. So you got to go get your story done. But I appreciate taking a few minutes break from writing to come join us and break down. It was good to have football back, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? And it was an absolutely gorgeous night. We had a few raindrops kind of later in the, but it was just absolutely beautiful.
I'm still shocked that we had lightning delays at a couple places. Like, I saw the clouds, like, when I'm sitting out at Advanced Physical Therapy Field, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of nice, you know. And I'm thinking, okay. I had no clue till I got down here that there were lightning delays in different parts.
It was very, very random, very, like you said, a very weird weather night. Beautiful some places, and then it's lightning other places.
Well, for those of you, Shane's new. He's been with us since April. You'll see him out and about. He'll be at a game every Friday night. We're going to bounce him around both sides of the river. We're going to bounce him around. You'll probably see him in Northeast Missouri a little bit more. So look out for him. You'll see him at the softball diamond some coming up tomorrow. You're at volleyball, so you're going to be all over the place.
Yes, sir.
It's a good thing, though.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Shane Holsey, get back to work. I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to try to jump back onto the United Systems hotline and talk more football. Hopefully Adam Gunnerman, South Shelby coach, they've made it back to Shelby on the winding roads from Harrisburg. We'll see. We may have to wait a few more minutes to get him on the phone, but we'll see. This is Monday Night Lights. Powered.
Simply free checking with First Bankers Trust. No monthly fees and easy digital banking. Plus, show your school spirit with a Quincy Notre Dame Raiders Spirit card. Get yours today and proudly support the QND Raiders all season long. Go Raiders!
Safety for your home. Security for your family. Communication for your business. Rely on locally owned United Systems to keep you connected. Contact us today for more information. United Systems.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
My name is Jamie Kincaid, and we own Sterling Tax Service. I am a retired fireman. We came to Edwards Group originally to figure out where we were with our estate. For us, it was peace of mind that our daughter wouldn't have to try and figure out what was going on, because it would be impossible for her. It's an easy process. You get off the fence and do it, because you will appreciate it later.
Call Edwards Group today to schedule your path to peace of mind.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional. Why go anywhere else?
Safety for your home. Security for your family. Communication for your business. Rely on locally owned United Systems to keep you connected. Contact us today for more information. United Systems.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We are here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio in downtown Quincy. I'm Muddy River Sports editor Matt Schuckman. It's been a ball tonight. Tonight's been a blast talking football, starting as early as 4 o'clock today out at tailgates at Advanced Physical Therapy Field, and then the whole pregame. And so we're going to bounce around. This is what we're going to do each and every Friday night during the regular season. We're here 10 to midnight, live with you on all the platforms. So you can watch us live. We're recording it, so you can watch us tomorrow if you've been on the road. We've got teams that just finished playing, so we know they're not going to catch us live because they're on their way back, or shortly will be on their way home to Brown County and Unity. But again, this has been a lot of fun. We got a couple more segments to get to. Adam Gunnerman, the South Shelby coach, they're just about back to Shelby. He let me know that they're getting close, so he's going to jump on the United Systems hotline with us here soon. We're going to run through the Schottenkirk Toyota scoreboard before the night's through. But right now, we've had a lot. We want to get to a segment we're going to do every Friday night. A Refreshment Services Pepsi and Muddy River Sports have tag teamed to do this. The Star of the Night. We're going to give one every Friday night. We're going to pick somebody who's stood out, somebody who's made big plays, somebody who's made a difference for their team. And we had a lot of candidates tonight. We had a lot of guys that made some big plays, a lot of guys that were influential in success. But we're going to Palmyra. Big win on the road, double overtime, 42-40 at Hallsville for a Palmyra team looking to make some big strides this year in the second year under Dalton Hill. That's a huge win. And one of the guys who made big plays, Pierce White. 3 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, including the 2-point conversion that put them ahead 42-34 in second overtime, which ultimately led to them winning 42-40. Pierce White, sophomore, all-purpose guy. He can be a wide receiver. He can be a running back. He can do all kinds of things for them. He's very athletic. Got some good genes in there too. So comes from good stock. Great kid, and really think that the future is bright for Palmyra with guys like that, guys like Ryland Compton, their quarterback, making big plays. Wyatt Augsburg, with a big defensive play there at the end as well. I believe who had the stop there on the 2-point conversion. But we'll get more into what Palmyra did. But Pierce White, our very first Star of the Night. You can look for that every Friday night, brought to you by Refreshment Services Pepsi. And again, it could go to a lot of guys. But Pierce White, you're the man tonight. Star of the Night. When we come back, we're going to jump on the United Systems hotline, talk to Adam Gunnerman, the South Shelby coach, about their big win over Harrisburg. So stick around. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Muddy Night Lights is also brought to you by Town & Country Inn, and Nationwide Transportation.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot, as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
I love to shop online, and one thing I'm not going to screw up is a piece of jewelry that I'm going to wear for the rest of my life.
And it's as simple as just being able to see it. Like, just being able to actually physically hold it and see it. That's different than like, oh, look, I'm on the internet. Like, let me just, that looks nice, I think.
Trying on rings and seeing different sizes and the different colors, and I just want to be able to touch and feel it and have the experience. Having the experience is going to be more important to me than just adding something to a cart and clicking buy now.
There are 3 things that she's going to get asked. How did he propose? How big's the diamond? And where did he get it?
I'm proud to tell my friends that, this is where I got my ring.
I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of a no-brainer.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We're getting close to the end, which is a shame because it's been a fun hour 45 so far. Talking prep football right here from downtown Quincy in our Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Schuckman. But we got one more interview to do before we wrap things up for the night. And so we're going to go to the United Systems hotline and talk to a coach whose team put up 60. That's right, 60 tonight, 60 points. South Shelby coach Adam Gunnerman. Coach, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Doing good. Just off the bus.
Okay, well, good. I know it's quite a little bit of trip from Harrisburg back to Shelbina, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's about a little under 30, so some nice rolling to get through. Just pulled in about minutes ago.
Okay, 60-22 victory. Sounds like you guys spread the ball out to a lot of different guys. I think, 6 different running backs scored rushing touchdowns tonight?
Yeah, I've told about everybody, preseason you do all the media that, we're not going to have probably that one guy that's, make pop and going to get, that 15 carries a game. We're going to spread the ball around, and the guys are really good about being selfish and getting most out of their carries. They really did that tonight. 6 of them scoring tonight was special.
Well, I know you and I joked in the preseason about Chase Mollering hadn't thrown an interception. We jinxed him, didn't we?
Honestly, I'm glad he got out of the way. He got the one out of the way. He didn't throw one all year last year, and so we decided to do our 2-minute drill at the end of the first half. He threw one on a 4-yard line.
Well,
get that one out of the way.
There you go. Well, and again, 12 carries, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, completed 4-6 passes. Pretty solid all-around effort by the junior.
Yeah, he was outstanding. He made a lot of really good reads in the RPO game, and instead of throwing it, he took running quite a few times. And man, he had a lot of success. He was pretty electric, really. He did a good job controlling the offense, getting back to the hub. He did a good job communicating with me on what he saw. And, our line was pretty solid tonight.
Well, it sounded like defense was pretty solid, especially in the second half.
Yeah, the first half, honestly, at the Harrisburg, you guys came out and they threw the ball over the yard in the first half, and we were just we got punched in the mouth a little bit. And it was a good thing, honestly. It really woke us. And the second half, we came out, I think we gave up right around 50 in the second half. But that first half, we were on there for a little bit. They did a really good job. Kids bowed their back and did what they needed there in the second half to have success.
Awesome. Well, hey, Gunny, thanks for taking the time to join us. I know you guys just got back to Shelby, so I know you want to get everything wrapped up and get home. So really appreciate you jumping on the United Systems hotline with us for a few minutes.
Hey, glad you got this, man. A lot of people are excited about it, so good luck with it.
Thanks, buddy. We'll talk again soon.
All right, good.
That was South Shelby coach Adam Gunnerman joining us on the United Systems hotline. Cardinals with a 60-22 victory at Harrisburg tonight. A lot of good things out of that. Chase Mollering, again, 183 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, completed 4 of 6 passes for 53 yards. Preston Elson, 101 yards and a touchdown. So, again, a lot of good things out of a team that's going to be really dynamic offensively and is going to get better defensively as the year goes on. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up. We're going to go through the Schottenkirk Toyota scoreboard one more time and then send you off into your Saturday the right way because you've just spent the last 2 hours talking football, which is great. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Your policy's updated.
Because we know your house is where their dreams begin.
Impressive.
Thanks, Caleb. And our agents are here to help you feel protected so your family can pursue their dreams. Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
Hey, grab me one too.
Muddy Night Lights is also brought to you by Town & Country Inn and Nationwide Transportation.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
For 125 years, Hollister Whitney has designed and manufactured solutions for the vertical transportation industry right here in Quincy, Illinois. Now you have the chance to be a vital part of this quality-driven, family-oriented team. We have salaried and hourly positions available, both with excellent benefits and very competitive wages. Cutting-edge technology, a dynamic, engaging, and flexible work environment, the opportunity to achieve your full potential. Elevate your career to the next level at Hollister Whitney.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. Man, time really does fly by when you're having fun. This night has gone quick. Can't believe we're almost to the end of our first football Friday night of the high school season. But we're going to be here every Friday night throughout the regular season talking to you about high school football with coaches, special guests, and who knows where we're going to go with this each and every week. But I can't thank the people who have joined us enough. We'll get to that here in a minute. We want to run down the Schottenkirk Toyota scoreboard one more time for you. Quincy High School with the season opening 40-12 victory over Quincy Notre Dame. Jefferson City Elias 31-20 over Hannibal at Porter Stadium in America's hometown. Camp Point Central, the reigning Class 1A state champion, gets it kick-started the right way, 69-0 over North Green. 15-time state champion Valley Catholic comes to Langford Field and beats Monroe City 47-14. Jacksonville, 26-14 victory over Pittsfield, but that's a good result for Pittsfield. Pittsfield showed itself tonight, which was really good to see. South Shelby goes to Harrisburg and wins 60-22. Macomb on the road beats Lewiston 49-8. Farmington, really good team, takes down Illini West 33-0. Mark Twain beats Highland 32-14. Deer Creek Mackinac slows down West Hancock with a 58-28 victory. Palmyra, the game of the night, double overtime in Hallsville. Panthers come out on top 42-40. Pierce White, one of the stars for Palmyra tonight, our starry star of the night. Check it out. Triopia over Pleasant Hill 8-6. And then our final two games of the night were both delayed by lightning, but we do have finals. Brown County loses at Greenfield Northwestern 6-0. They had a chance. They had a chance late to get in the end zone and fumbled the way in almost inside the red zone. So they're going to have some work to do, but Brown County showed itself against a very good Greenfield Northwestern team coming off a state semifinal appearance. And then in the last game of the night, Winchester West Central beats Unity Payson 50-22. There's going to be nothing easy any Friday night in the WIVC, whether it's the North or South. So some really good scores tonight, some really good action. We got you some highlights. We had a bunch of coaches. I can't thank the coaches enough for taking the time to jump on the United Systems hotline. We had Central coach Brad Dixon, Hannibal coach Jeff Gschwender, Pittsfield coach Zack Ferguson, and South Shelby coach Adam Gutterman all join us on the hotline. Fantastic job by those guys. We're going to mix it up each week. We're going to have coaches from Missouri, from Illinois. We may even have some special guests from outside our area to talk about the conference races and those type of things. Rick Little, the Quincy High School coach, came in and joined us for a segment right here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio to talk about their victory over Quincy Notre Dame 40-12. And then we had KHQA Sports Director Chris Duerr chime in. That was fun. I love talking football with him. He and I can go back and forth talking football any day of the week. The dude just loves high school football. He loves high school football more than anybody I know. I'm shocked. I bet you are too, to hear that he only went to one game tonight. Now, again, we have responsibilities. We got to get things done. That's why I left a game at halftime tonight. And I'll continue to do that on Friday nights so that I can be right here. I can be prepared. But again, what a fantastic night to kick things off. We had some weather delays in a couple places. We had some clouds. We had an interesting week of weather with heat lightning and really hot temperatures, and then everything cooled off. And can't think of a better way, though, to end the week than a Friday night football slate. And it was good. It was a very good slate again. Check out the Schottenkirk Toyota scoreboard. We gave you all the scores. We're going to post the scores online. We're going to post our Starry Star of the Night online. And you'll be able to check this out online. If you didn't have the chance to join us live at any point in the last 2 hours, if you were some of those unfortunate souls who are still traveling back from games, get online tomorrow. Go to muddyriversports.com. Check us out. We'll have everything saved. We'll have everything in there. And you can check us out. And again, we'll be coming to you live every Friday night for the rest of the high school football season from 10 p.m. to midnight right here in downtown Quincy at the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. And again, next week on the slate, Quincy High School's at home. Quincy Notre Dame's at home. Hannibal's on the road. We've got some really key WIVC matchups. You've got that Camp Point Central Calhoun game going on. We're still a couple weeks away from anybody jumping into conference play for the most part. I know Pittsfield jumps into Sangamo conference play last night. Those teams up in the Lincoln Land, Prairie Land, Lincoln Trail, Prairie Land, the Macombs, the West Hancocks, the Illini West, they're already jumping in. But we're still a couple weeks away from Quincy High School, Quincy Notre Dame, Hannibal, the WIVC North, and those teams getting into conference play. So we'll update you on that. And in the coming weeks, we're going to have some other special guests. We're going to talk conference, and we're going to talk Central State A. We'll talk Western Big Six. Some of the guys from the Quad Cities have offered to join us on the United Systems hotline. So plenty to talk about each and every Friday night for the next 8 weeks after this. And then we'll go into the playoffs. We'll do another week for the first round of the playoffs. And then you don't know where the playoff schedule takes us. So we'll see what happens then. Maybe we do a modified version of this. Maybe we do a 30-minute update on Saturday nights. to get everybody caught up on all playoff action. Teams got to get in the playoffs first. Teams got to still be alive for us to talk about them. So we'll have a lot of fun with that again. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chiming in. I know I got a bunch of messages on my phone. We got some messages on social media. People updating us with scores. We love it. And we'll be right back here next Friday night, 10 to midnight. So join us for Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.